Hello everybody out there. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about tail lights. I've tried a few different types over the years, actually quite a few different ones, and I've kind of settled on a few that I really like, and I just want to talk about these Cygolite Hotrod headlight and tail light units here because they're just super cool. They have all the right combination of features. There's lights out there that use coin cell batteries or AAAs, things like that, and that's fine, but they tend to dim over time. So you put a new coin cell or a new AAA in there and they work great initially, and then over a few rides they start to get dimmer, and you don't really notice it because it's a gradual thing, but by the time the batteries really kind of start to fail, they're kind of feeble. So the nice thing about these Cygolite lights is that they're rechargeable. So first of all, you're not using and throwing away batteries, and second of all, they stay bright the whole time that they're running, right? Until they actually shut down. So I guess downside is maybe you have to take them off the bike and recharge them after your rides. But I'll talk about that a little bit later too. It's really not a big deal. It's pretty easy with these guys. So these are the Hot Rod series, and I've also tried the Cygolite Hotshot. This is the Hotshot 2.0 here. And this is a light I've had for a longer time, and I really like this one too. It's also USB rechargeable. It's got a little mini USB port in the back, and this is a great light too. The only thing that is not as nice about this one is that it's got a clip, right? So it's great for a bike that's got, if you want to put a clip on the seat post, sure. I actually use this on my bike that has a rack. There's a Cygolite sells a clip adapter that you can bolt onto kind of a standard rack interface, and then this clips in there. So that's really nice for that. Now, one thing I will say about this Hotshot 2.0 is that the light is very focused. So this little projector lens here sends the light back almost directly back like a beam. So it's good in the sense that when it's on your bike, if you aim it level, it's shining back where cars can see it, but it's not in the eyes of your riding buddies, people in a group. So that's kind of nice. But it also means that off-axis, like from the side and such, the brightness is good but not great. It's hard to tell on camera here because it tends to saturate the camera anyway. But from the center, the thing is absolutely blinding. I don't know if I can line up my camera here, but it's like you can see it's crazy bright. It's got different modes. There's like the fast, intermittent flash here, and then there's kind of steady flash, kind of a varying flash. I think they call this like a daytime lightning or something. Steady, and then there's the fade up and down, which is really nice because you get the brightness and the variation, which is kind of eye-catching, but it also doesn't blind people if you're in a group. It's less likely to give them an epileptic seizure, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so and then you can vary the flash rate on this guy too by pressing this other button. You can kind of speed it up, and if you press and hold, it kind of cycles through the different speeds. Like now it's pretty slow. And there's some way to reset it back to the factory setting, but I don't know what it is. So to shut it down, you just press and hold the button, and it flashes once and turns off. So that's a great light. But going back to the Hot Rod, these guys actually like better because they have a broader pattern. The LEDs are just kind of in a little row in the back there. And so you have the same basic flashing patterns. There's like a steady with a strobe. There's the fade up and down. Again, I like this fade thing. It's especially in a taillight because it gives you the variation in output, but doesn't blind people. And then this Hot Rod comes in two different versions. They have a front light, which is the Hot Rod 110, and it's a white output. And then they have the Hot Rod 50, which is the rear tail light with the red light. So you can get red and white, which is nice. Now the headlight I want to talk about for a second because it's not a headlight to let you see the road. This is not going to light up the road ahead of you. This is not like to be used as a primary headlight so you can see where you're going. This is a light so that you can be seen. And so what this is really great for is running in conjunction with another headlight, maybe on your helmet or on your bars. Or really more importantly, during the day. I think daytime visibility is something that people don't think about enough, which is that you put these lights on your bike, and at night a light is obviously necessary. You can't get away without it. But during the day, it makes a huge difference in how visible you are. And so having a front light like this that's not necessarily a headlight but as a visibility light is really good. Really good thing to have. I think everybody should ride with one, and especially if you're riding solo, run it all the time. If you're in a group, it's less of a deal because you're more visible inherently. But you know, if you're riding by yourself, I think there's just no such thing as too much visibility. So I really like those lights. Again, these guys are USB rechargeable. These have a micro USB connector, which is kind of nice. It's a little more up to date than the Hotshot. Hotshot's mini USB. Sorry, I'm out of camera there. This guy's mini USB. The Hotrod lights are micro USB, which is kind of like most non-Apple cell phones were up until last year or so. And now things are kind of switching over to the C connector, but the micro is pretty common, so that's easy to find. It's got a little rubber flap that goes in there and presses into the hole and seals it. And as far as I can tell, it does a pretty good job of keeping the water out. Not only when you're riding with these guys, because on the tail light, it's definitely going to get water and stuff splashed up on it when it's on your seat post. But the headlight also is going to get wet if it's raining or misty or if you're behind somebody. So it's great that they're kind of waterproof. And even when you're done riding and you take them off the bike, I can, as long as I have the little ports closed, I can just run these under the faucet. I wouldn't pressure wash them or anything, but you can run them under the faucet and get all the dirt off, and they come clean, really nicely without a lot of work. So that's great. Mounting for these guys is nice. The little rubber strap goes around the handlebars or the seat tube, and if you needed to go about something narrower like a seat stay or whatever, you can actually shrink up on it and actually make it a fairly small mounting loop. Of course, then you have this flap here, but what are you gonna do? You could trim that off if you needed to, but I don't know if it's a big deal. And then when you want to take it off, you just pull forward and it releases, right? So when it's on your bike, it's on there pretty snug. Pull that and it just comes right off. So I really like these lights. Turn on is just one press, turn off, press and hold, and they shut off. I've never had them run out on me on any kind of reasonable bike ride. I think if you were doing something all day, if you ran them, especially in the high steady mode, like if you switch this guy on, you have it just on the high setting, yeah, it's going to run out in 3 or 4 hours. But what you do is you put it on a flashing setting, and then it's not going to run out as fast. In fact, you can probably run all day on a flash setting like this, where it's a slow, blinking like that. It'll probably run 12-16 hours at least. Anyway, I just want to mention those and show them to you. I'll also show you the packaging. These have been opened, obviously. This is the Hotrod 110 package, which is the white headlight thing. It's all destroyed here because I took it out and used it. I've been using these lights for a while. But, yeah, so, notice that it says daylight visible on the package. I think they even mentioned the fact that this is somewhere in here. I want to say that they mentioned that it's not intended to be a standout day and night. It's not a headlight. It's a visibility light. But really great. I like these guys, and the price on them is not outrageous either. I want to say it's under $40 or right around $40 retail. Really worth it. Again, on the rear light. At the time I bought it, and this may have changed since then, but at the time that I got it, it came in this plastic package. The white light's 110 lumens. The red light is 50 lumens. But honestly, I don't know if it's just the way the human eye works, or whatever, but they look equally bright to me. I don't notice a big difference between the two. Yeah. Anyway, just super cool. Now, one thing that they do not have that the Hotshot has is variable speed. So, these guys. As far as I know, once you turn it on, the patterns are fixed. There's no variable speed, which I don't really miss. In fact, I almost kind of feel like it's sort of silly on the Hotshot to have that variable speed flashing. But I think that's about it. They do include cables. There's little white micro USB cables that come with these guys, so you don't have to buy any charging cables. They do come with them. I think in most cases people would have the charging cables handy anyway, but they do include those. And I really like these. I just think they're like a really great combination. And Cygolite makes good quality stuff too, so really nice. I can't say enough good things about these lights. If you like this video, let me know why. If you didn't like it, or if it made you crazy, let me know in the comments. I'm still trying to figure out, what's the best way to present stuff and show people things. And if there's something that if you have questions or whatever, I'm happy to answer. or do a follow-up video, but just let me know. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Take care and happy cycling.